You're listening to Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant.
Guys, it's the end of the year. How do we feel?
Disgusted. Disgusted. The year went too quick. It's a bunch of stuff still going on. There still ain't no downtime, but I'm happy.
I didn't seem very happy.
Yeah, I'm not.
Happy at all,
it's just
friend.
a mood. Yeah, the holidays. For me,
I mean, it's
yeah, it was just a thing. It was a blur of being uncomfortable and overdoing stuff that we don't need to overdo, and yeah,
it
no
was
time,
great.
no time to enjoy.
His birthday was great, even though we had to leave his celebration because the kids have been sick for approximately since the beginning of the school year. And we had one really sick one, so we had to leave. But
we was partying in Tacoma too. It was going down.
It's always a party.
The electric slide didn't quite come out, but
we have not done the electric slide in Tacoma ever. I don't think
ever. Are you serious?
When I can't remember the last time I've heard the electric slide played at your house.
We do the electric slide to the ghetto. Too short, actually.
Never
but
mind.
we've been doing
the
electric slide since it can remember. But that's when you know the party.
But it wasn't to the original electric slide.
Nobody does that.
Everybody.
Nobody I know of.
Well, everybody that's like the staple. When you say play the electric slide, you don't put on
Too
the
Short,
ghetto by Too Short.
The ghetto
and go, ooh, boogie, oogie, oogie.
Or
no,
Cameo, just like Kende. So
that's
it's different. I don't know many people that do
seems like the electric slide went like they were doing it back in the day.
No families I know are doing the electric slide to the official electric slide song. Cameo, or like our family, we do it to the ghetto. Because my grandma liked the song, but the original beat is from another gentleman, of course, but Too Short.
I don't think anybody does the electric slide.
Yeah, because I feel like the cha-cha slide kind of like overtook the electric slide.
Or the wobble.
Like all of them, yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like I like woke up one day and was at a wedding and like, electric slide, fuck you talking about? We cha-cha sliding, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Type of thing. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
I think I'm about due for a good reception. I enjoy me a good reception. Like,
yeah.
At every reception I've been to, I've acted like
he parties.
I'm the groom. I really have a good time at weddings.
Yeah.
It's usually free alcohol and a bunch of good people, and you have a good time. But
damn, I didn't know that's how you felt about it though. Secretly, it's free alcohol.
So you just bulldog other people's fucking parties and events, and like all of a sudden you turn into like the guest of the hour, and it's like, hold up, nigga, this ain't about you. You're like, well,
sometimes,
it is now,
man.
It's my party.
I turn birthday parties into my parties.
He's turned my birthday parties.
A couple of your birthday parties,
right?
And I just like to have a good time. Okay, I just like to have a good time.
What are you guys doing anything? I mean, your birthday's already passed, Marcus, but are you guys planning on doing anything for your birthday?
We are. Tomorrow. We're doing Top Golf. I rented the Captain's Lounge or something. And so, we're all going to golf, eat, drink, and party. So that's what we're
I heard that. So there's a Top Golf in Renton now?
There is. At the Landing.
There is.
At the Landing? Oh, that's going to get shot up in the summertime. I can't wait to hear the stories about that.
I thought about that. Thanks, Seattle, for giving us a Top Golf, and sorry in advance.
I think it'll be okay, man. It's held on for this long, and I don't think they're playing that type of music.
And that's the thing. It's all about the music. Anytime you play, we're so desperate in Seattle. Like, we're so, I don't know. Anytime you play an ounce of hip hop, all of the Black people in Washington State just kind of infiltrate the place, and then
let's give us a chance, though. I'd like to see us.
I'd like to give us a chance too.
I'd like to see us do well for this one. And there is a lot of stuff that's going on that's not so much our age demographic.
What?
There's some stuff going on. I think there's like some rooftop parties that happen during the day parties and stuff like that. I've been talking to some young folk and they are kicking it out here. We're missing it because we're not of age to kick it like that.
I've never heard of somebody kicking it at. It's not a real day party. I'm sorry. They're going like and taking an extended lunch with coworkers on the rooftop.
No, it's cracking. Actually, I've seen the IG videos.
Nobody is partying in Seattle. It's a lie.
Shout out to the day party crew. I know y'all.
There's no day parties, but go ahead.
I mean, y'all might know me, but
there's no day parties.
Shout out to y'all.
We are strictly about this business here in Seattle now. There is no time to party.
Come on down to Vegas. It's a totally different story down here.
In due time.
Well, that's why they come up to Seattle, because they're over partying in Vegas.
I know, right? I wanted to ask you guys, so, year's ending. Is there anything that you may have learned about yourselves this year? Especially you, Jess, because you've had your spiritual journey you've kind of been on. So is there anything like with the year wrapping up that you feel like, wow, like I've learned this about myself in the last 12 months?
Yeah. I've probably learned more about myself in the past 3 months than I have. I don't know. I don't know. It's been quite the journey. I am still on the journey. Not a perfect journey, but I'm still on it. I have learned more. I don't know. It's pretty deep. So yes, this has been quite the year, but it's been very enlightening and inspiring and just a moment of change and renewing and just kind of figuring out who I am. Because I was just talking to Marcus about this, whoever said when you turn 40 that all of your troubles go away and you don't give a fuck anymore, you're lying. Maybe it's because I'm fresh 40, but I really feel like everybody that says that, unless you have like true inner fucking peace, you're full of shit. Okay. So that is I probably shouldn't have said that. That's not part of my spiritual journey.
But you already prefaced
it's all
it
a part
it's
of
not
it.
Perfect.
Right. Yeah. None of it is perfect. And I've kind of, I've had a front row seat, right, to all of this. And I feel like through your journey, I'm kind of learning myself, right? I'm picking up tidbits and catching the cliff notes, et cetera, et cetera. And it's a work in progress. It's a continual thing to go within yourself and try to find exactly what makes you tick and what you're about and your trauma and try to adjust these things. And the first step is just being aware, right? So I applaud you, sister. I know you don't like to give yourself credit, so I'll give you a little bit of credit. And good job.
Thanks. One day.
This question's for both of you guys. In what areas do you think you made like the biggest improvements this year?
Well, I'm a work in progress, so.
Damn.
Yes.
The biggest improvement. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I think I've improved in my communication, right? My communication with others, because I'm so caught up in every day and my family and myself that it's very hard for me to connect with other people, even my friends. And so I think I have really kind of grown a bit in that area and just being able to just kind of, reach out to my friends and try and reconnect. So that's kind of my area of growth. Biggest change is getting back to my friends. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say? I don't know.
For you?
You.
Oh, I thought you was asking me of what I seen in you.
Nope. Nope. Didn't ask
okay.
that. Didn't
For
ask
me, I think my growth has just come from understanding and seeing things through other people's viewpoint, right? I have my way of thinking, and maybe sometimes I could get in a position to where I think like I have a one-sided view of things, and if you can't understand it like I understand it, then there's something wrong with you. But everybody's different, right? So just
Fucking
to
Capricorn.
Just to open true though, Capricorn. True, right? Yeah, true. So just to open up a little bit and try to kind of explore these different ways of just viewing life and just viewing the planet, viewing spirituality and everything, just as a whole, right? So yeah.
You're welcome. How about you, Kel?
Oh my God, what did I learn this year? I think I learned to not try and save everybody, I guess. And what I mean by that is, and what I mean by that is, like, I don't know, I've been able to start my own business, and my business has been going good for the last 2 years now since I got out of radio. And with that, like, you know, you always want to like try to help everybody and you want to like put people on, but I've focused more on just like myself and putting myself in a position where I need to be, that I feel like now that like, since I put that focus in, that now I'm in a better position to help people.
Yes.
If that makes sense. So, being able to actually be like, I guess like being selfish, but being, I guess, smart about being selfish, of knowing like I have to first put myself in the position to be able to help others, and before just trying to help other people, but not, you know, helping myself. So I think that's like the biggest thing that I've like, definitely, I feel like I've learned this year, and it's paid off. It's worked, you know, so that for sure. And then just being more patient as a father. You know, that's something that like, you know, that just comes with time, I guess, and more experience being a father, and my kids getting older.
Reps. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. But those would probably be like the two like biggest things for sure. I mean, and then like taking my kids out of the country for the first time to Costa Rica, and being in Costa Rica for damn near almost a month with my kids, and like that will work your fucking nerves. Cause like I don't like just talking with you guys. It was funny because I was like, God, like, how do these guys be taking their kids to Hawaii and doing all that? And like, and I just have 2 kids, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, so I totally like I get it now. Like I totally get it, but like just building that getting, like you said, Marcus, the reps and just being more patient. And now it's like, okay, now I can take my kids out of the country again and like feel more confident and better about it.
You can do it.
Yeah, you know you can do it, and you know exactly what it takes. So for sure.
Because I dealt with this for a while too, about feeling like you're being selfish when you're taking care of yourself, right? That's a crazy concept that we put on ourselves, right? And we should not do that. So I went through a little bit of that. Maybe it wasn't this year. I kind of been going through it for a while, but you have to put yourself first, so it can't be there for the people that you want to be there for. So I totally understand where you're coming from. It's a weird concept though.
It is weird because a lot of people, everybody's, what their definition of self-care is it looks different for everybody.
Right.
And so some people, it's like, oh, you get your nails done, and that's your self-care. Actually, it's not my self-care. This is just shit that I do, that I feel like I gotta do it. right, at this point, because I got to maintain these fucking nails, right? But I am starting to realize that self-care is not about this and just all of the things that people think, I don't know, that just guess. It's like, oh, well, you get to spend time with your friends, so that's self-care, whatever, right? It is literally taking care of inside of yourself. That is spiritually, mentally, emotionally, that is self-care. When you take that time to take care of yourself in that way. And so yeah, self-care is key, because like Marcus said, if you don't take care of yourself, how can you show up for anybody else?
Right.
You really can't. So.
Right. No, yeah. I agree for sure. I wanted to ask you guys, especially you, Jess, because you had said that, you've, learned to take more time, like to be there for your friends and things like that this year. What would you say you've learned about your friends this year? Like good and bad. Like, have you, did you learn good things about your friends? Have you learned eye-opening things about your friends? I know I have this year when it comes to my friends, and I feel like every year the circle gets smaller, right?
Right.
You learn more and more, and you're willing to tolerate less.
Right. And I think that comes with learning again more about yourself. And I have realized that, I surround myself with a lot of people because that's just my personality and who I am. But when it really comes down to it, I don't know. It's a delicate subject. All those people don't need to be there. People that have been there for a very long time, you know what? Sometimes they're not meant to be there. And to me, that was a failure on my part, all of this kind of stuff. And I have learned that is okay. And my true friends, even though I have been, absent and all of this kind of stuff, my true friends are still there. And that is what I have kind of learned about my friends, and that everybody is not on the same page as you. Everybody doesn't want the same kind of friendship as you. It's not, it's like it has to be reciprocal in some kind of way. And when you're not getting that, what I've learned is it is okay to let it go. Let it go. Let it go. So.
Right. Everything happens for a reason, right?
Right.
I'm a firm believer in that. And people change. I tell you this all the time. People change, people grow, and people are in different spaces. Everybody's going through something, right? So you never can really know where people at. And if it's not a vibe and it don't really mesh, it's okay to take a step back. And that's just what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think it's any harm in that.
Right. Right.
Yeah. What would you guys say was some of your biggest highlights this year when it came to your marriage? Were there any things that like stood out, positive things that stood out this year?
So taking it back to me and my spiritual, just like, I don't know.
Because I feel like
we're still
even
together.
Though you guys have been married for a long time. You guys have just been together
16,
in general for a long
17,
time.
15.
Yeah, like
16.
You guys are almost at the point where you've known each other 15. Longer than you haven't known each other, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so it's like,
yikes.
But at the same time, though, you're always gonna be growing, and you're always gonna continue to grow, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, are there any things that might have? It could be little things, not like big things, but just little things that might have just stood out to you this year when it came to your marriage that were cool, good, positive things.
Since you can't think of nothing positive, I'll go ahead.
That's not it. I was waiting to see what you were going to say.
I'll go ahead and step out for us, for us as a couple. I feel like that our communication has gotten a little bit better. I don't know if we've been doing so much of it, or is it more I've listened better or what? But I feel like the communication, I really can say I know where my wife is at, right? I listen to her whether I want to or not. I listen. So anytime anybody talks about a relationship, they always talk about communication. So our communication, I feel like, has gotten better. And that's whether we like the communication we're having or not, whether it's negative, happy, sad, et cetera, but the communication is there. We're being honest with each other and we're listening to each other. And that goes on both sides. So I feel like you've become a better listener versus just kind of just flapping at the gums, right? You're actually listening to what I'm saying as well. And we have this back and forth, and I think it's a good thing. Do you agree?
Well, I do agree, but it's funny, and not to bring it back. Fuck that. Bring it back to me. It's all happened within the last few months. It just has. I've been more open with Marcus, even more open than I have been ever before. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm.
And part of me working on myself is to be a better listener and to not just take everything and just, I'm working on it, and just not being so and negative and all that kind of stuff. So I think that has opened up our communication, and me being more open with him and being, I don't know, more patient, more just kind of knowing when to tell myself to shut the fuck up or to listen. It's helped him open up more as well. So that is a good thing.
Do you guys think that's your biggest relationship accomplishment of the year? Is that? Because I can go back to like when we first started doing this and how you guys would talk and communicate. And I'd sit there sometimes and be like, damn, this is how they fucking talk to each other? Like, holy shit. Like, okay. And then like just getting to know you guys and getting to know your personalities and just like how you guys bounce off each other and how you guys definitely balance each other out. And it got to a point where I'm like, okay, now I get it. But then I feel like even like after that, there's been even more growth of just now of how I watch you guys communicate, where it's like, oh shit, like, okay, like this is a little more, their communication's a little more sane. Cause there'd be times like Jess would say something, I'm like, oh my God, she talks to him like that? Like, if my woman ever, you know what I'm saying? But like, I just feel like you guys have definitely, just from the outside looking in, like I've definitely just from my position, just seen the growth and just seen the communication get better. So I would just say from my perspective, I feel like that might be you guys' biggest accomplishment of the year when it comes to your relationship. That's just from being an outsider. Now, internally, it could be something totally different because obviously, like, I'm not there or part of your personal conversations. But definitely from just my interactions with you guys, like, I definitely could see the change there. And I think this podcast has definitely helped with that.
Yes.
Just saying.
I agree. It is kind of, I don't know. Well, it's you, this podcast, you get to see yourself back and how you present yourself to everybody and all of that kind of stuff. And so, you know, you have a little bit of self-reflection and we've talked about things. And so you're right, Kel. That is part of the whole communication growth, is also on how we deal with each other, or excuse me, how I deal with him apparently on the podcast. But in my defense, I am who I am. I am very snappy at the mouth. That does not appeal to everybody. Everybody doesn't like their relationships like that, especially a lot of men. They want to be the dominant, and anything else is out of the ordinary, and I am not the ordinary. Damn
modern woman.
I can't say there won't be times where I do not fire off at the mouth, but right. If you don't like it, oh fucking well. It works for us. And we're happy. Right, nigga? Oop.
Damn.
Goddamn, cut that shit.
I was just about to say well said too. Damn. And yeah.
I'm keeping that in. That's so good.
Yeah. No, but I tell people all the time, this podcast, for me at least, is somewhat of a therapy session every week, right? You get to come in here, you get to talk through your stuff, whether it's funny, whether it's happy or sad or whatever. But yeah, I've always been comfortable, right? I'm comfortable with myself, so I allow my woman to be herself, right? And so there is times though where, okay, off camera, I'm not even so much stuff that's going on the show though, but I have to let her know that you've went a little too far and you need to dial this back, and this is why, et cetera, right? Because I feel like I'm a very patient person. I can see certain things and I can kind of understand, right? But I want you to understand me and where I'm coming from. So I have to work on my communication. I have worked on my communication. I'm kind of a shutdown guy. If it ain't going exactly how I want it to go, then I'm just done and I don't need to talk about it. That's not always the best way though. So communicating through the good times, definitely communicating through the bad times is very healthy for a relationship, to be able to get through the anger and get to a space to where we could have an adult conversation. I feel like is very powerful, and that's what we've been doing. And right. It's been good for us.
I can be reckless with the mouth, but
we all can be reckless though. So
I can be, especially you're not. So when I
until
say
you
something,
push
it
me
makes
though.
me look like, oh God, she's just fucking verbally abusing him or some shit like that. But there is a mutual respect. There is a very deep love. There is way more to that than just the yapping of my mouth. And he knows that. That's why we're still married. High five. There's so many other qualities. So many other good qualities besides fucking mouth.
What do you guys think you can work on in your relationship in the upcoming year? Because there's always room for improvement, right?
Very true. Yep.
Nothing.
I think it's all in the same. I don't think you never
stop working.
Stop working on the communication, checking up on your partner, coming outside of yourself and making sure you're seeing the situations through another person's lens, right? And just seeing where they're at. And I think that's a forever thing, or I would hope it would be, right?
It is, because we're constantly changing, and I know I am. So constantly. And we talked about this before. We want our marriage to work, so we will continue to work on ourselves, so this will work. And one thing I did discover, a little part of his love language just recently, is I write him notes on his mirror. And he really...
I do. I appreciate
So that is one, that's one thing. That. That's one big growth in our relationship, because he really likes it. It's like affirmation, like confirmation, encouragement, kind of showing how much I love him in a different way. Not necessarily saying it, but literally writing it to him, like writing him a love note. And so that
it makes me want to sing in an R&B song, like in the shower or something. It makes me like,
so
brings me to a level
that another bit of growth is the little notes.
Yeah, I sure do appreciate that. You doing your thing with that too.
I know.
So, yeah.
I know. Okay.
Good job. Good job.
You're welcome.
If you guys could travel back in time to the beginning of this year, what advice would you give yourself?
What advice would I give myself? Just don't try to be Superman. Don't try to do everything for everybody. It's okay to say no and just focus on those things that you want to focus on, right? And really pay attention to the things that matter. There's always going to be stuff, but stuff could wait and always be more stuff coming. That was pretty good. I did that off the top of the dome. That was pretty good.
That was excellent, actually.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jessica.
I would tell myself, what were we saying? Am I asking myself something?
I know what I would tell you.
Pause.
I would say that Jessica needs to give herself more credit. She's very hard on herself, but when you reflect back and really look at what's going on, you do a damn good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. And now go ahead. If you had something to say after
I know.
that.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Thanks. So anyways, I would tell myself that you are going to go on a journey and undergo? Yes, a change. And it's going to open your eyes to a lot of things and expose you to a lot of things, and to be patient and to be kind and to be present. Just be present and just see this transition in life all the way through. So, dogs barking. I think, yeah, that's what I would tell myself. A change is coming. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good, man. I mean, I feel like I wanted this episode to be about positivity and growth, and definitely it's been that. And I feel like I said earlier, just from the outside looking in, just this year alone, I've watched you guys grow and watch your relationship grow a lot. And you guys just seem, from when I first met you, and now I'm not saying that you weren't happy when I first met you guys, but you guys seem happier. And I don't know what that is. I don't know, but you guys seem happier.
Is it the drink?
I don't know if
during the show.
Well, no, I don't know if that maybe has to do with too, like, this year it seemed like you guys did a bit more traveling, and so you guys got to get away a little bit, and you guys went to you guys went to, was it Jamaica? No, it wasn't Jamaica. Was it Jamaica?
Dominican.
The Dominican Republic.
The Dominican. That's right. You guys went to the DR. Right, you guys went to the DR and really had a chance to really get out and like decompress and get away from the kids and stuff. And I just feel like, you know, when you got kids like that and everything is always around the clock, like you just need that a couple times a year. And, you know, remember, you know, when we started this, you know, we were in the world of COVID. So, you know, you guys are around your kids all the time. And so I think you guys being able to get out and travel,
yes,
you know, get away from your kids and things like that, you guys seem happier. And I feel like that's a lot of marriages and a lot of couples right now is, we're finally, getting back into going and traveling and doing things. And so you're able to get away from your kids and decompress. So just not you guys, but I just feel a lot of marriages have,
I think everybody's rebounding. We're rebounding from COVID. We're trying to get back into that groove that we had, even though I'm not sure if that's possible now with all of the kids' activities. But Kel, holler at us in March. We'll probably look like we did at the beginning of the year. But I think everybody's just trying to get back to, I don't know, the middle. And to where, you can't go back to where you were before COVID, but just kind of getting close to that. So
right.
I think that's happening. And it's, it really is just all about inner happiness, inner peace, and that'll be reflected in all areas of your life. So not there yet.
Agreed. Yeah, you did that. I don't really have no rebuttal. I usually got a rebuttal for everything you say.
You do. My God. Yeah,
you was on point at that time. So.
Well, great episode, y'all. Great way to end the year. When we publish this, it might be the new year already.
Oh my God,
23.
Damn. Oh my God.
Shit.
Your year, Marcus, 2023, man. But yeah, no, this is great, y'all. Happy New Year. It's always fun doing this with you guys. Another year in the can, and it's always a pleasure.
Yes, we appreciate you, Kel.
Same to you too, brother.
You're awesome. You really are.
And we be down there in a couple months, right? And Dylan, big shout out to Dylan.
And Dylan. But thank you guys both for sticking with us and working with us, and Kel being such a wonderful producer and kind of allowing us to be who we are, and literally kind of I don't know, you're really good. You are really good. I can sniff out some fuck shit very easily.
Yeah, she's good at that. Yeah.
You're very good, dude, Kel. So thank you.
I remember the first time I met you, Jess, and you were like, yeah, I'm the one that sniffs out the bullshit, so I got to figure out to make sure you two are legit. And like Dylan and I look at each other and we're like, wait, what? Like, what the fuck? We're like, all right, whatever. And I really appreciate that, Jess. And Dylan and I both just appreciate letting us let you guys tell your story and us being a part of that. And like I told you guys, 2.5, almost 3 years ago, like, my job is to make sure that the world sees you in a positive light, because that is who you guys are, and all I want to do, and Dylan, we just want to support that and make sure that people see the real people, who you guys really are, and see the best in you guys. And it's interesting because, when we post stuff on social media, that's what a lot of the comments that we get is people like, I love your podcast because you guys are just so real and you're so authentic.
Yeah.
And living in a time where we always talk about, social media and people being disingenuine and not being authentic, that is one thing with this podcast is that, Dylan and I wanted to pride ourselves on, is to make sure like this is going to be fucking authentic. Just after having conversations with you guys, like, oh yeah, these, like, if you guys were anything else but yourselves, like, this wouldn't work.
Right.
100%. Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you guys can be just your genuine selves, and like, that's why this works like it does, and does well like it does. So I'm just happy that you guys just allowed us to come in your home and, come into your family and
literally
be able to tell you guys a story. So.
Literally come into our home.
Yeah, seriously.
And, like,
all up in your house.
All up in the house. So again, thank you.
It works. So,
but what I was going to say quickly about you saying us being ourselves on this podcast, and you were talking about your growth and how the podcast is like therapy. I think it has also helped him relax just in his speaking engagements, when just being more of your, because it's Marcus, he's very by the book. He's very scripted, and this has taken him out of his comfort zone. I think.
Well, it's different.
It's different.
Yeah. And I was trained for many years, pretty much to say the same thing over and over, and I toe the line and don't say anything that's gonna it gets you on ESPN and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, man, I'm able to relax now, man. I'm talking about my
even his voice
life. I'm talking about my kids. I'm talking about my marriage and everything. So it's a different type of conversation. So it's
you're just more relaxed because before it was, hey, it's Marcus Trufant, your Seattle Seahawk. And now it's like, hey, man.
Yeah. And you said it, Kel. You remember the first show? I came with my notebook and my notes and all this kind of stuff. Dude. And I was like, yeah, this is truly unruly.
I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah, no, I remember you had the notebook. And like, I don't know if you saw the look on my face, but in my head,
I didn't see it. I was locked in.
Oh, I was so disgusted, and I was like, "What the fuck does this guy think this is?" I was like, "We're not doing this." Like,
that's all I knew, though, right?
Notes. I was very hungover.
I had probably
very.
I remember that.
I was like, "Oh fuck!"
I had a couple stapled pieces of paper together, so I was ready to go.
Right, he had his whole dialogue down. Bullet points, all of it.
The peachy or the or what do you call it?
The peachy.
Yeah, the little
manila envelope or
the manila
peach envelope
folder. Yes,
folder. Yeah, the manila folder.
Ready to rock.
Yeah,
I had it.
That. I was like, if they want this to sound like what me and this guy just talked about in Columbia Tower, I was like, this ain't gonna sound like that. Like we're gonna have to approach this a little different.
Yeah. Kel was like, okay, and cut.
I was like, all right. Remember, I was like, all right, that was almost 15 minutes. Let's try it my way. And it was like 2 minutes. Boom. And I was like,
yeah, we was like, oh, okay, I get it.
I, like,
I understand.
Oh shit.
So, yeah, let's put the notes away. No script here. But word. Good shit, you guys. I always appreciate you guys. I always appreciate you guys doing this. It's always a good time. Truly Unruly, Marcus Trufant, Jessica Trufant. Follow them on IG. Their first names _ their last names on IG if you want to follow them. And follow the page, Truly Unruly _ podcast. And of course, listen to us on your favorite podcasting player. And of course, like, subscribe, and catch the visual on YouTube. And every Sunday, you can catch us also on Converge. I think that's it.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Don't do that.
With an S on the end.
Don't do that.